In the wise words of Bo Burnham, and yes, I recognize the irony of referencing him and this song whilst on the internet, boredom is a crime and it often results in one, either onto others or onto yourself. For some reason, really stupid challenges keep catching like wildfire, and today we commemorate the ones that never should have been, and you shouldn't do them. I'd like to emphasize that. Don't do any of these, okay? Be better. Welcome to Information Overload, and today I'm your host, Rachel Fisher, and join me as we both scar our minds with the knowledge of our top 10 dumbest YouTube challenges ever. And you shouldn't do them, like ever. Number 10, the banana challenge. This one is probably the most harmless challenge on this list, and it's nothing short of hilarious and revolting, if I'm being honest. The challenge is a game that started out as a popular prank/game for youth at a church group. The game is called Banana Blowout. You cut the feet off of a pantyhose and put it over your head, and then try and eat a banana through it. It sounds disgusting, but according to the pastor of the church group, it's one of the funniest games they've ever played. Here's a clip.
Now swallow.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna get a trash can. Here, give us this trash can. This is a good idea.
My turn.
Yeah, it sounds more funny, but it actually looks more disgusting. If I watched this any longer, I would have relived breakfast, and I'm just not about that. And you don't want to see that either. So if you're gonna do it, maybe just like keep it to yourself, because it's a little to look at. Number 9, the cold water challenge. Now, depending on where you live, what is considered cold water may be relative. For instance, some consider a pool set at 76 degrees Fahrenheit to be cold. I consider that refreshing. Could be because I'm a Canadian. But we are talking about the cold that makes your body go into shock. The cold water challenge sounds innocent enough. Jump into an icy lake, get the heck out, and dare your friend to go next. The challenge peaked in May 2014, but after resulting in the death of a young man named Davis Colley, the challenge froze up. He passed away while attempting the challenge and was alone at the time. Swimming in chilly water poses the risk of hypothermia. Plus, if you jump into an icy lake, there is a chance you will go into shock. You would panic and then not be able to get yourself back out again. So unless you're one of those superhuman people that go swimming in icy lakes for fun, 10-10, don't do this, especially alone. Or ever, just don't do it. Number 8, the cinnamon challenge. Okay, I'm gonna call myself out here really hard. I remember the cinnamon challenge and I thought it was hilarious at the time. And at that time, nothing bad had happened yet. After all, it was just cinnamon. Nothing bad had ever come from cinnamon, like apple pie, strudel, cinnamon hearts. Man, I love cinnamon. And the idea of trying the challenge at home with my friend didn't seem like a bad idea at the time. Besides coughing up dust and yakking into a sink, I was actually fine. But a lot of people weren't, and my friend's mom was very mad. The ignorance of youth. But I was pretty lucky. Between January and March of 2012, US Poison Control received more than 120 calls pertaining to the cinnamon challenge. Some suffered lung scarring and even a collapsed lung. So believe me, if I could go back, the things I would say to my younger self would have been astounding and not for your ears. Terrified at the fact that I was that stupid. For something that seems so harmless, before you jump on any bandwagons, make sure there isn't a chance it will kill you. Boredom isn't worse than death, but it is better than Monopoly, I'm just saying. Number 7, the nose challenge. This isn't what you think it is, and I almost wish it was after hearing about it. The nose challenge. This one's super strange, especially because of the object used. The nose challenge is a game where you have to try and snort of all objects a condom up through your nose, down your throat, and out your mouth. You know how kids used to snort milk or like Coca-Cola up their noses to see if they could drink it? Yeah, that, but with a latex object instead. Who thought of this, and why? Why a condom of all objects? Condoms are made to withstand pressure, so the likelihood that they will get stuck in your nasal passages or throat or your lungs is pretty damn high. Thankfully though, it was short-lived. It became popular around 2013 when a teen snorted a condom up their nose while listening to a Taylor Swift song. It went viral, but apparently there were a few cases in 2007 as well. Number 6, the eraser challenge. This one hurt my head despite its simplicity. Look, we all want to disappear sometimes, become invisible, but erasing yourself won't work, as too many people have had to discover for themselves. The eraser challenge involves rubbing your skin super fast while reciting a word for each letter of the alphabet. Not surprisingly, it results in burns, scrapes, blood, etc., as well as a decrease in self-respect. From my first-hand account with the cinnamon challenge, I can tell you that self-respect never really comes back. it just haunts you every time you look in the mirror. Or someone says, hey, you're cool, but you know the truth. They don't know the lie that lives behind it. Anyways, you've been warned. Number 5, the hot water challenge. What do you think this is, man? What is it with people in extreme temperatures? We all know what happens when a hot coffee spills on your hands or the shower nozzle suddenly turns into lava. It sucks. Hot water can make even the strongest of people grimace. So why would anyone think that they're tough enough to handle this? The challenge involves pouring boiling water onto yourself or someone else, or drinking scalding liquids. Unless you don't think third-degree burns exist, then I guess maybe this challenge would be useful for you. But otherwise, why? What does this challenge? What is the challenge? What is it? What is trying to be proven or overcome here? I remember one time my sister accidentally ran into a pot of boiling water and she had to sit in a bathtub and she was crying for hours. It was literally the worst, most terrifying thing. Not surprisingly, a lot of people got seriously injured and even someone died. So I hope the people who started this challenge got the proof they needed, but also you didn't need it in the first place. Google's a thing. Science. Number 4, the shell on challenge. You've eaten the banana, but have you ever eaten the peel? You've eaten an egg, but have you ever tried the shell? I think you get the picture. The shell on challenge, which started in 2019, like many other challenges on this list, started pretty innocently. Eat the part of food you've never eaten before, which could be anything as small as a lemon peel or a watermelon rind. But of course, it's all fun and games until someone pokes an eye out or just ups the ante because I guess they have nothing better to do. Eventually, people evolved to eating cardboard and plastic and food wrappers. And needless to say, doctors were like, no, stop doing that. It's also besides the point. Like, do you eat what's inside your Amazon package? I guess if you order produce, but what the heck, dude? Number 3, the Kylie Jenner lip challenge. If the phrase DIY lip plumping doesn't sound terrifying, it should. What was it? Well, girls, in order to get that freshly plumped look that's so often attributed to Kylie Jenner's lips, they used a shot glass or the rim of an empty sports drink, put their lips inside, and then sucked on the bottle for a few minutes. Sounds perfectly innocent and safe, but this creates a kind of vacuum and literally sucks the blood to the surface of the lips to plump them up. The result? Well, you would have pretty plump lips for around 13 minutes or like days because they would be bruised and scarred because you just burst a bunch of blood vessels. The other danger was if you used a shot glass that wasn't strong enough, it could shatter against your lips because it wouldn't withstand the vacuum. Due to the fact that this challenge not only looked dumber than duck face photos, it was super dumb. Though I can understand the hope behind it that maybe if you do this, you'll look more beautiful like the people in Hollywood. But honey, you're perfect as you are. Or do what you need to do, but do it safely and with love. Number 2, the salt and ice challenge. So an interesting thing happens when salt and ice are combined. For some reason, the combination creates a reaction that can make temperatures drop as suddenly from freezing to as low as -20 degrees Celsius. When the ice melts, the energy must be absorbed from the environment to overcome the hydrogen bonding the molecules together. A great trick we used when I worked at a restaurant to cool bottles down really quickly was to submerge them in ice, salt, and water. It would be cold within minutes. So now you can understand why the salt ice challenge is so dangerous. People are putting salt on their skin, then ice, and seeing how long they can withstand the intense burning sensation. People have gotten frostbite, 2nd and 3rd degree burns to the point where amputation was almost necessary. Yes, science is cool, quite literally, but this challenge definitely demonstrates what happens if it ends up in the wrong hands. And last but not least, the fire challenge. We've had the hot water challenge, the cold water challenge, and now finally the fire challenge. The existence of this challenge makes me wonder whether people actually believe fire can burn things. Like imagine like the stupidest thing you could do with fire. And if you guess dosing yourself in a flammable liquid and setting yourself on fire, haha, you'd be correct. A+ for you. If you embarked on this challenge because you were so curious about what would happen, you don't deserve Google or the internet. Take their phone away and unplug them from the world because they obviously need to relearn how to be a human from the ground up. Many young people have been put in the hospital due to this challenge, and I hope I don't need to explain why. Fire is dangerous, kids. Listen to Smokey the Bear. And on that blazing note of idiocy, we end today's list. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you know what to do. Like, follow, subscribe, and please, for the love of God, if it looks dumb, even if it's just cinnamon, don't hop on the bandwagon before you know where it's going. You may or may not live to regret it. I've been your host, Rachel Fisher, and until next time, guys, take care.